I like to raise my glass and toast in the memory of Jonah Hill's once skinny body. It's gone forever. Now we're back to fat Jonah Hill. Hello and welcome to another episode of Whiskey Business, the only YouTube channel that tells you exactly how drunk you have to be to see a movie. Today we're talking War Dogs.
How did two 20-something young men land a $300 million Pentagon contract?
I have a big idea.
War Dogs is the new film starring Jonah Hill and Miles Teller about some 20-something-year-old college dropouts who decide they're going to become arms dealers for the government, and they do surprisingly well at it, and they also have a lot of problems to go with it. It was a movie that didn't quite live up to my expectations based on the trailers, but it also didn't really upset me either, just kind of middle of the road.
Sorry.
First and foremost, if you're gonna go into this movie expecting Wolf of Wall Street but with guns, it's not that movie. It's very different. The trailer, which, by the way, the trailer, whoever edited this trailer, you should get a fucking Oscar. This is like the best trailer I've ever fucking seen. I watched this trailer like almost every day of my life since it came out. It was fucking, just got me so pumped up, which is one of the reasons the movie kind of let me down, because I came in this movie hyped up. I thought this was gonna be, like I said, Wolf of Wall Street, just selling guns, stacking fat stacks of money everywhere. They're just throwing money on hookers and driving jets and stuff, but flying jets.
No, they drive jets.
They can't.
They drive them first.
They don't have their pilot's license, so they gotta stay on the ground.
Exactly.
It's more about their struggles as two young kids who don't really know what they're doing, and they're over their heads trying to solve all these problems. But I was entertained throughout the whole thing, and I enjoyed it. There's a lot of good information to show you how fucked up this whole system is that allows them to even do this.
Obviously, the first thing I want to do is compare it to Lord of War. But the major difference here is that this is like Lord of War, but younger. It's younger crew. It's a more lighter version of Lord of War. And the difference is, Lord of War was about gun running. It was about the intricacies of all that. This movie's not about that. It's about the relationship with these two guys and trying to make a business and, you know, kind of the rise and fall of that.
The performances in this movie were pretty good.
Jonah Hill's character was fucking awesome. I hated him. Like, that's how you know I liked him. I fucking hated him because he's a fucking asshole in this movie, and he kind of reminds me of Cartman. I mean, obviously, the fat thing falls in, but he's a fucking manipulative asshole, and it's fucking great. So, I hope he gets some recognition for this role. Same with Miles Teller. Did a great job.
Yeah, so the casting in the movie was perfect, with the exception of Bradley Cooper. Really, like, Bradley Cooper's awesome. Love all the movies he's in, but he's just, a monkey could have fucking played that part. They're really...
Yeah, he just talks quietly.
He's a placeholder.
Miles Teller was really good as this kid he's sick and tired of his shitty job of being a massage therapist, so he decides to help Jonah Hill and run guns and make all this money. And then his wife gets mad at him for making too much money. It was, her character I could have done without. It was just like a pointless conflict for Miles Teller to have to go through just to give more drama to the story, I guess. But it's like every time she was on screen, she was complaining about him, like, not telling her that he's doing dangerous stuff. It's like, what's the deal here? You're making so much money. You live in a penthouse suite in an apartment in Miami. Shut the fuck. You know, it's hard for me to live here in Miami with all this money. There's money in front of the door. I can't open the door. It's everywhere. I have to leave. I can't live here anymore. I have to go, David. I have to go. The baby crib, the mattress, he's made of money.
It's all money.
Stuffed. How am I supposed to live like this, David? I can't do this no longer. I have to go. Shut up. I don't like your character. Okay? If he was like cheating on you, it would make sense. But you have too much monies? Too many monies? This is problem for you?
I mean, It was just to add drama to his character, really,
like,
but
it was pointless.
It just was annoying.
It just didn't really, like, spike my interest. I thought it was going to be 100 miles an hour, real fast paced, according to the trailer, you know, it's something that was just going, and It ended up being slower than I thought.
I really thought it was going to be like a Wolf of Wall Street with some action, you know, and it just really wasn't that movie. So going in, I was, you know, you're thinking one movie based off the trailers, and you get a totally different movie. It wasn't anything special at all.
But there was nothing spectacular about it, and it was kind of predictable.
There's an identity crisis with the movie, and so that's why it's kind of falls somewhere in that middle scales. I mean, it didn't really spike my interest as a comedy. It didn't really spike my interest as a you know, action movie. It was just kind of somewhere in the middle, but I wasn't not entertained. I did like it and I did enjoy it.
I feel like the writers got a hold of like the life story of these two kids, and we're like, okay, well, here's what we want to talk about, but let's throw like this funny scene in and this action scene in, and it just kind of gets all jumbled up.
The comedy comes from just like how insane their situation is. It's not really like jokes. Some jokes come from Jonah Hill because he's just such a dick to people. It's funny to see him, like, he just doesn't give a shit. He'll say whatever he wants to people in this movie. But then most of it is just them just like way over their heads and like, this is fucking crazy what the fuck we're doing right now. Other than that, it's just kind of a drama.
Why don't you ask yourself, Josh? Who gives a shit about what you have to say? How fucking drunk do I need to be?
I'll tell you. Yes! I would give this movie a drunk, almost buzzed, but all in all, I thought this was an enjoyable time. I did not regret my time in the theater. It was not as good as I thought it was, but it was still a good time to be had. I still suggest seeing this, and I suggest going drunk just to get some extra laughs out of this thing.
I'm gonna also say drunk. You know, I'm gonna compare this. I feel the same way I felt after the first time I watched Alpha Dog. We were kind of like, I liked it, but there's something wrong here. It was a good movie. It wasn't what I thought I was gonna see. It was all right. It's a drunk.
Very good. Very good. He doesn't have like a fucking standoff here.
Is he looking at me? Is he looking at me right now?
I don't give a fuck. Someone start flapping their mouth hole.
I will cast my vote as well. Drunk. I was kind of leaning towards shit-faced actually, but the movie's not that bad, and you don't want to go shit-faced to this movie. You want to go drunk. You'll enjoy it more. You'll have a good time. It's not a great movie, but it's not a bad movie. It's just a decent movie.
I'm gonna piggyback off of Mike's review. I'm just gonna kind of go middle of the bar, drunk for this one. I liked it. I mean, nothing exciting, nothing outrageous. I couldn't pull any great events from the movie, so have a couple drinks, go enjoy, go laugh at Jonah Hill and his incredible fake tan, and you know, I guess have a mediocre time.
You drove these through the Triangle of Death.
Poker time.
Cheers to mediocrity.
Yeah! No, more like yes.
Okay.